So we'll start off with right here, good old sum. So what sum is going to let you do is add everything up that you want. So it's a sum, exactly what it sounds like. The example we have here on this tab, NFL rushing stats for the last few weeks. So this should be through last week. Let's say we want a total of the yards rushed for in the league and how many attempts they had. So that's these two columns here. So go to the bottom, equals sum, and you can either drag this all the way up, hit enter, or you can do equals sum, and then if you hold shift control up and make sure you take that top one out, enter, there you go. So total number of rushing attempts 4,800, total number of yards rushed for 21,000. There we go. And let's see, what's the next one? Average. Good old average. So average is exactly that. What is the average amount of yards rushed for, let's say? So amongst all running backs, let's say we go average, just type in equals average, go right here, shift control, press the up arrow, and there you go, enter. The average amount is 141 yards, but again, averages can be misleading. So let's say the top 5 running backs. So if you just want these ones. So what we'll do here equals average, again, we highlight the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there it is, close it, enter. So if you're a top 5 running back, you have an average of 475.2 yards this season. Now if we wanted to do touchdowns, same thing, average, touchdowns, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close it up with the parentheses, enter. There you go, close to 4 touchdowns. So then we will go to our next one, count. So let's say we want to count how many running backs total we have. Now we do have a list right here, which is essentially a count. But if we just want a total number, equals count, and then we'll go to the name. We'll go to these, and we'll hit enter. There you go. Count only does, oh, excuse me, certain types of data. So how many ran for yardage? Yep, there we go. Count does numerical data as we see right there. So when you're doing this one, you got to be careful. Make sure that data is numerical, or numeric, I should say. Numerical, yeah. Anyway, so find your numeric data, pick a count, or what you want to get a total for, and then highlight the data. That's it. Then we go count A. Count A is a little bit different. What count A does, see, counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So this would be good if you wanted to see everyone who, let's say, didn't have a fumble. So who's got 0 fumbles? So one thing we can do first, add our filters, which is another useful little function. So you highlight what you want. You can go sort and filter, filter. We'll click here. I want to see 0s. So what we'll do here, select the 0s and hit delete. So now they're blank. But, and we can even take our filters off, sort and filter, filter. So let's say we wanted to see who doesn't have a fumble, equals count A, number of cells that are not empty. So we'll take this, highlight the whole thing all the way down, close the parentheses, enter. So it looks like 66 running backs of this 149 have a fumble. So we can do something like this. Less than half the running backs in the league have fumbled this season. That's an interesting little stat there. Okay. All right. So let's say we'll go to the next one here, concatenate. Okay. Concatenate is good for putting things together. So let's say you wanted Derrick Henry in Tennessee. So what we would do is equals concatenate. Now the new function is this, concat. So it used to spell it out the whole way, but yeah, see, this is the old one. That's what that exclamation mark is for. Now this one, it just combines it. They both combine the same text of anything. So you click it. Now let's say we want Derrick Henry, text 1, comma, and say we want a space, or maybe we want to put a dash in there. So then we will go open the parentheses, dash, close parentheses, another comma, then pick his team. Then we'll close it up. Not parentheses, quotation marks. There you go. Derrick Henry, Tennessee. But if you want to add a space, in between the quotation marks, you hit the space, and you hit the space. So Excel will show the first cell, then whatever you want as the second cell. In this case, I wanted a space, a dash, and a space. So all you have to do is put double quotation marks, exactly what you want, even if it's a space, it'll pick it up. Then close it with double quotation marks, comma, and then the second one you want to show. Enter, and there we go, Derrick Henry, Tennessee. So if we trace that down, there we go. Problem solved. So we've got everyone there. And that is a little flash fill use for you as well. We've got another video on that if you want to see it. If is a very flexible function, and it's going to show you a whole lot of different things in here. So let's say what I want to see is Tennessee running backs. How much have they run for? How many yards have they run for total? So go equals if. So right here we'll do a logical test. So if, let's say, equals, let's see, yeah, equals quotation marks again, Tennessee, but we spell it the same way. If that's true, let's say quotation marks again, yes, he plays for the Titans. If it's false, we're going to show nothing, so we'll do quotation marks with nothing in them. That's going to give us a blank value. So you see, yes, he plays for the Titans. You can trace it down. Yep, so far nobody else. So let's trace it down even more. There might be someone else who got a carry. Yep, what do you know? Tennessee. So got Darrington Evans. If you look at that, it's pulling right there. So that's an example of what an if function can do. Now there's some other stuff as well. Now we've got another video that breaks down all these different variations, so I'm just going to show you a quick one here. So let's do a sum if. So the range we want to do, right now we want to find Tennessee. So we're going to look in here, and we hit F4, lock it down, make it an absolute reference. The criteria, we want it to be Tennessee. So we can either reference another cell, we could click right here, do Tennessee, but because we don't want to we want it to have flexible data, so just in case we change something or we want it to be Cincinnati or anything like that, we're going to go quotation marks again, doubles, and then 10 for Tennessee, close them out, and then we want to find the sum range. So we'll take those yards, we'll count all of those, and we will get a total for how much all Tennessee running backs have rushed for. 772. So let's see. There's Derrick Henry, and then who's our other one? Right here we have two more. So we have Jeremy McNichols, and then we have Ryan Tannehill. He's had a few. That makes sense. And also Darrington Evans. 772. You see? We just sorted by team right there. Beautiful. And we can also do Vlookup. There's a great function here. So Vlookup, which also has its own video, equals Vlookup. We type that in. And what's the value we want to find? Let's say we want to find, here, we'll go this. What team? Let's say we want to find a running back. So number 25 right here, Antonio Gibson. What team does he run for? Now let's say we were in a list and there was 200 columns of data. We had no idea what these were going to be. So we'll take his name, So equals Vlookup. So we want to find this. Where do we want to find it? In here. And we want to find it what's the data we want to display? It's his team. Let's also say his age, why not? So we'll do that, highlight those 3 columns, F4, lock it down, so that way when we go up and down, if we did multiple, it wouldn't keep dropping this list right here. So column index number, right now we want to see the second column, we want his team. So the first column is this one, second is this, third is this. So we'll enter 2 because we want to see the team. It's the second column, and we want an exact match, which is going to be 0. Then we hit enter. Washington, let's see, Antonio Gibson, Washington. Now how old is he? So let's see, Vlookup. We're going to find his name again. Then we're going to do the same table array. Just hit the columns, that way it stays. Hit F4, lock it down, comma. It's the third column, because remember 1, 2, 3. Third column. And we want that exact match, so we hit, that's right, 0. Enter, and there it is. So what we have right here is a good example of a Vlookup. Now the only issue is, let's say we do this. We add a column. Watch what happens over here. Oh, it broke. It doesn't show it anymore. So this was team, this was age. Now, if we delete this, we're back to working. So Vlookup's a great function. It has limitations though. So we'll use one called index match. So, oh great, it opened the link for me. So, what we're going to do, copy this right here. Now we'll do the same thing, but we're going to use index match. So we'll just do this for reference. Equals index. So first, what's the value we want to display? We want to display his team. So we'll click that right there in the same column, just the one. F4. And we want to match it. So the value we're going to look up, just like in Vlookup, right here is name, comma, and we're going to go with a lookup array. That's going to be looking it up right here. Again, F4, lock it down, comma, we want an exact match, so we hit 0, close the parentheses, and we close them again. Hey, Washington. Now we'll do it one more time, equals index. What do we want to find? His age. So there we go. Lock it down with F4, match, and we're going to find what? His name. As long as there's always a unique identifier, you can always use this. And index match can do multiple lookups. It can really handle a lot. Plus, it's a lot lower memory usage in Excel. So you can have a lot of these running through. If you have a spreadsheet that has 18 VLOOKUPs in it, it's going to run slow. I'm sure you've seen that. It's a pain. If you use index match, that spreadsheet's going to double in speed. So, lookup array. We're going to use the name again. And then F4, lock it down, comma, 0 for exact match. Close parentheses once, close it twice, enter. And there we go. So let's see if the same problem happens. With this, remember when we added the column, VLOOKUP broke. Not index match though, because those adjust. VLOOKUP did not, index match did. So, there's the advantage between those two. So we went through that. Drop-down lists. Yes, please. So we all have drop-down lists. And I'm sure we've all used them many more times than we care to admit. So let's say we just want a drop-down list of every NFL team. So we're going to do this. We'll eliminate the duplicates. So we have 32, which is exactly how many NFL teams there are. So let's say I wanted we'll say this, team. So I want a drop-down list right here. It's going to have all these teams that I can just select. Let's say I wanted an alphabetical order. So All you do is just sort them here. Home, filter, filter, and we'll sort A to Z, why not? And we'll go back, remove the filter. Now, I just go here, data, data validation again, any value. I want a list. It's going to be a drop-down list. In cell drop-down, hello. Source, we're going to go right here, and then we'll hit OK. And we have our drop-down list of every single team. So let's say we just go right there. And, oh, no, we want Pittsburgh. Okay, we want the Jets. Okay, said no one ever this year. And then, okay, we want the Titans, and so on. So that's how you make a drop-down list. And there's goal seek. Oh, good old goal seek. So throughout 6 games, Kenyon Drake has rushed for, we'll take this piece of data for example. Goal seek is going to give you a very nice way to figure out what you need to hit to make certain numbers happen. So let's say it says, oh, I'm in a contract year, which I don't know if he is or not, but let's say he has a clause in his contract that says if you rush for 2,000 yards in 16 games this year, we're going to triple your pay. Okay, so Kenyon Drake might come in here and say, all right, I have how many games left? So he's got 6 games. He's started 4 of them. So if he'll go here, let's see, 16 games. So is this 4 and 478. Okay. Actually, you know what? Better yet, we'll do this. Okay. He has 105 attempts, 478 yards. And he has 4.6 yards per carry. So equals this divided by that. And, okay, 4.6, we're going to the hundredths, so we'll round it to there. Let's say he's planning on having 300 carries this season. And he wants to know what he needs to be, how many yards behind is he for the pace of, let's say he wants to be at 5 yards a carry. So here, we'll go to what if analysis in our data tab, what if analysis, goal seek. We want that value, or that cell value right here, we select that. We want it to be 5.00. And we're going to do it by changing this cell. So there you go. He needs to be at 525 yards. He's at 478. So you can just do this. He is 47 yards behind. So he needs to improve his pace by 47 yards to average 5 yards a carry. You can do that for pretty much anything you want. And then the next one, good old pivot tables are +1. So we'll insert a pivot table. So you go right here, insert, pivot table, and we'll just add a new one here, a new tab, so we hit OK. And I want to see, let's see, yards per, let's go touchdowns actually. So we have that, and I want to see a player. So right there, we've got players by touchdowns. If you want to sort them, right click, sort, largest to smallest. Touchdown leaders, Dalvin Cook, Kyler Murray, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Todd Gurley. So we've got all that right there, but let's say we want to see player team. So we have that, and these are alphabetical by the looks of it, but maybe we want it reverse alphabetical. So sort C to A. There we go. Isn't a blank team? It shouldn't be anyone. Yeah. Okay. So we can go up here. If we have a blank team like this, just click this, unclick blank, problem solved. Now if we want to make this look pretty, design right up here. You click anywhere in the pivot table, this analyze and design tab is going to pop up. Hit design, you can do something like that, which I don't like that, but change it here, and there you go. So that is 10 useful things plus another one in Excel. If you got any questions, please let me know, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.